Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Theravada Buddhism series, Dhamma talk number 16. Today's topic is mental factors, cetasikas, part 3. I have been talking about the specific nature of mind and matter lately. I would like to let listening yogis know I'm simply repeating what the Buddha said in accordance with the explanation of the Buddha's teaching by the elders, so that we can understand what Buddha meant easily. I emphasize especially what my teacher, late Sayadaw Usilananda Biwansa, Aga Mahapandita, taught us regarding Abhidhamma. I also read over 30 years ago Abhidhamma Sangha, written by Narada Thīna, should say translated by Narada Thīna. I'm like a parrot repeating what I have heard, what I have read and understood. I'm not a scholar, have never attended any formal Buddhism courses. I'm sharing with those who want to listen online via SMSC, YouTube, Mindfulness Insight channel. If there is an error in my Dhamma talks, it is solely my own. Okay, today we are going to talk about the last section of the unwholesome mental factors. There are 3 of them: thīna, middha, and vicikicchā. 3 mental factors, unwholesome mental factors. The first one, thīna. It is translated as sloth in English. It is the sluggishness of mind. The mind is dull when sloth is present. Its characteristic is a lack of driving power. People with no drive are always in a state of sloth. Its function is to dispel energy. Sloth dispel energy. Persons with no drive always keep energy and effort away or apart from them. It manifests as a sinking state of mind, manifests as a sinking state of mind. It creates an unambitious, not ambitious attitude in a person. Its proximate cause is unwise attention to boredom. Yogis whose attitude to observing the rising and falling movement, or lifting and dropping movement, stretching and bending movement. If the yogi's attitude to these are boring or non-stimulating, the yogi is paying unwise attention to boredom. Unwise attention to boredom. That is the proximate cause, immediate cause of why sloth arises. Thīna, sloth. The next one is middha, middha. It is translated as torpor, torpor. It is a morbid state or sluggishness of mental factors, cetasikas. It drastically slows down the activities of all other mental factors that are associated with it. Its characteristic is unwieldiness. It creates a non-harmonious mental environment with a breakdown in communication amongst the mental factors. Its function is to smother, to make the functions of associated mental factors lazy and slow. It manifests as drooping, nodding, or sleepy. That is its manifestation. Once torpor is present, the yogis droop the body, nod the heads, become a lizard yogi, nodding the heads, and sleepy. Every mental factors that are associated with torpor grinds down to a halt. Its proximate cause is paying unwise attention to boredom. It is the same as sloth. Unwise attention. Yonisomanasikhara. So that is torpor. Sloth and torpor. These two are two entirely different mental factors. Sloth and torpor. Sloth is a state of consciousness, or it's a state of mind. It is referring to consciousness or mind, citta. And torpor is the state of the associated mental factors, cetasikas. Sloth is for the consciousness, citta, and torpor is referring to mental factors, cetasikas. However, these two always arise together, and as such is presented as the conjoined pair, always as a pair. They talk as a pair, we talk as a pair. They are one of the 5 hindrances, nivarana, pincha nivarana, something we are trying to abandon, and are opposed to viriya, effort. And this viriya is what? Is one of the 5 controlling mental faculties. Faculties we are trying to develop. In meditation, viriya can be seen as applying the mind to the object. Objects are always arising one after the other at the present moment. And the mind darts out to these objects that are arising. And that is the job of vicikicchā, or application of mental application, the mind to the object. Everybody or every part has its own function. Viriya is the application of the mind to the object, and that is called vicikicchā. And that vicikicchā is one of the jhanic factor. If you want to develop jhana, absorption, this is one of the factors you are developing as well. Sloth is the sickness of mind, sickness of consciousness. And torpor is the sickness of mental factors, sickness of cetasikas. And both inhibits the development of jhana, absorption. Even though we try to split hair between sloth and torpor, this is for the mind, this is for the mental factors. It is very, very, or I would say impossible for us to know the distinction precisely in operation. Only the Buddha can see piece by piece. This is consciousness. This is mental factors. This is what mental factors and how they are operating, how they are functioning, and so on. So we simply knows about these things because the Buddha had explained it to us. With our mind, with our even one of our greatest meditator would not be able to discern these two. So, this sloth and torpor, you always call her thīna, middha as a pair, not one or the other. We explain individually because they are different. This sloth and torpor are commonly known as laziness and sleepiness. We talk about, oh, this guy is I'm very lazy, I'm very sleepy. In other words, we are referring to sloth and torpor, thīna, middha. Once this sloth and torpor exhibit the minds and its associated mental factors become inert, not alert. One doesn't want to do anything and feels sleepy. In meditation, when sloth and torpor are riding on a yogi, the head, the body will droop, the head will nod, and sleepiness take over. You can't do anything. Some yogi even snore in the meditation hall. Can't help it when they are totally unaware. When you're asleep, to overcome the sloth and torpor, yogi has to exert double, triple the energy one usually puts. And that energy is used to apply the mind to the object, application of mind to the object. That's the only way to overcome. I shouldn't say only way. The Buddha has taught us 11 ways, but this is the way. With great effort, you keep your mind alive and alert, and then applied it towards the object. And these two are classified as the fourth subgroup of the unwholesome mental factors. We are talking about 14 unwholesome mental factors. They are divided into 5 subdivisions. And these two belongs to the fourth subgroup. The fifth subgroup is of these unwholesome mental factors. It's a stand-alone mental factor called vicikicchā. Translated word, doubt. It associates with one of the 2 delusion-rooted consciousness. There are only 2 types of consciousness that associate with moha delusion. Because that's why they are called delusion-rooted consciousness. And one of the delusion-rooted consciousness associate with this doubt, vicikicchā. But you have to remember, when we say doubt, what does it mean? It is not the doubt that we always casually use. I doubt this, I doubt that. Not the general sense we understand. Okay, let's say you are in a hiking in a forest, on a mountain, and come across the path split into 2 directions, one to the left, one to the right. You don't know which path to take. You have doubt. Should I take left? Should I take right? That's a doubt. But that doubt is not vicikicchā. That doubt is not unwholesome mental factor. That is simply a doubt, not knowing what to do, undecisiveness. That is the ordinary daily doubt. But the doubt we are talking here is a spiritual doubt. Spiritual doubt. But it is not right out disbelief in something. If one is right out disbelief in something, that is not doubt. That is the wrong view. Ditthi. If you are totally and entirely don't believe in it, it is called wrong view, not doubt. And it is about not having full confidence. It is about not having full confidence. In other words, you are partly confident about it, not 100% confident about it. About the Buddha, in short, is the 9 attributes of the Buddha. to give a little slice on it, you don't fully believe that Buddha knows all these things on his own. Somebody must have taught him something like that. That is doubt in Buddha, and also doubt in Dhamma. Don't have a full confidence in Dhamma. A little bit not sure about it. Such as the 6 attributes or the qualities of the Dhamma. A little more specific will be you don't fully agree with the 5 aggregates, or the 6 bases or 6 elements, or the explanation of the connection of the dots that is shown in the dependent origination, paticca samuppada. That is doubt in Dhamma. And also, of course, doubt in Ariya Sangha. What does it mean? In general is you have doubt of the 9 attributes of the Ariya Sangha. Or you even doubt, are there really such person as Ariya? Are there really 4 types of noble persons? As such, you doubt. Not totally, but partly. You can't decide one way or the other. You can't jump into it. Also, you doubt about the 3 trainings. Those are the trainings for all Buddhists, all practicing yogis. One is sila, morality or precepts. How to do, what are the results, what are the consequences. Second, samadhi, concentration, mental concentration. Is it as good as it sounds? Can you really experience these things? Can you get into absorption? If you have not been there, you have some doubt. Only when you got there, your doubt is dispelled. You cannot jump ahead into the concept of samadhi. And also, you have some doubt about insight and wisdom. Those kind of doubts are vicikicchā, spiritual doubt. And the characteristics of vicikicchā is doubting. Its characteristic is doubting. Its function is to waver. You waver. Once you have doubt, you can't make a decision. You cannot choose this or that. That's waver. It manifests as undecisiveness, like moving forward and backward between 2 belief systems, between 3 belief systems. That is its manifestation, going back and forth, round and round. Sounds good. But is it really good? Maybe the other is good. No. There are some good points here. There are some bad points here. That is the manifestation of vicikicchā, doubt. Its proximate cause is unwise attention. So that is regarding vicikicchā. If one bears doubt, it harms the practice of that person in sila precepts. It harms the precepts. It harms the vinaya, or the duties and responsibility of a monk, of a nun, or serious practitioner. And also it harms your meditation itself, bhavana, mental development. One doesn't progress at all, or one doesn't progress as fast as it could be, as it should be, because doubt is drawing back. With that, we concluded the unwholesome mental factors. Akuchala cetasika, unwholesome mental factors. Altogether, there are 14 of them. And that 14 is subdivided into 5 groups. Group 1 is 4 unwholesome universal mental factors that arises with all unwholesome consciousness. That's group 1, 4 of them. If you remember, they are called in Pali moha, ahirika, anotapa, and uddhacca. Delusion, moral shamelessness, moral fearlessness, and restlessness. Second group consists of 3 greed-rooted mental factors: lobha, ditthi, and mana. Wanting, wrong view, and conceit. The third group consists of 4 hatred-rooted mental factors: dosa, ita, miccariya, and kukuccha. Aversion, jealousy and envy, miserliness, and not wanting to share with others, not wanting to have others what you have or more than what you have. Group 3 is 2 sickness-based mental factors: thīna and middha, sloth and torpor. Sloth is the sickness of mind. Torpor is the sickness of mental factors. And the group number 4 is the standalone mental factor: vicikicchā, spiritual doubt. That covers the 14 unwholesome mental factors. We have discussed the anya samanya, which is more or less mental factors that are neutral in nature, and it can be wholesome or unwholesome due to the conditions they associate with. 7 are universal, 6 is particulars, 13. That is one major group. Second major group is unwholesome, akusala, mental factors. There are 14 of them. So altogether we have discussed 27 mental factors out of the 52 mental factors. We will carry on with the remaining in later Dhamma talks. May all of you be able to understand this unwholesome mental factors which we are experiencing all the time, every day, and may we be able to subdue them, eliminate them, and get rid of them as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much.